I'm curious if this is to set up for the Ezreal for Crownie, or if there's some alternate game plan being formed here, because I feel like we're on a patch where actually there are a lot. I was really surprised and a little disappointed that we keep getting Xayah on this patch. I feel like there are so many viable AD carries, like the Ezreal we've seen a good chunk of, but like things like Ashe, Jhin even got a buff coming into this patch. So we'll see if we do get more utility AD carries, or if it is these hyper carries that dominate for the rest of the time.
Yeah, it is taboo to talk about Ashe with Crownie. So you know,
well, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, you know what, Jhin, yeah, great idea. Absolutely love that.
Where's
no, honestly,
when you need it, man?
I would love to see, like, you're going for like the more utility AD carry route. I feel like Crownie, like historically and earlier this year especially, was so good on like those hyper scaling ADs down on the bot side. So if you wanted to kind of ignore the early game a little bit more and pick something that scales really hard, that could be a good look. And Adam goes third.
I will say, I don't necessarily think that the Renekton was a problem in the previous game. Like,
no, he
still solo killed Sparda. Like, he still had massive pressure in the top side. It's not like Adam wasn't. Adam was definitely winning top. Like, there's no two ways about it.
It just means we're playing regular League of Legends,
exactly,
which is less fun.
So
and, it opens up, it invites the Ksante, of course.
I'm critical from a I want to see fun stuff perspective, as opposed to a this is not good drafting perspective, if that makes sense.
That 100% makes sense. I think that's something we can all get behind. Gloryy, of course, in the last game was so good on the Syndra that came on through. I think like mid lane priority is obviously taking a very big back step. Jungle as well. Saw this in the first series of the day too. There's a lot of pressure being put on getting your bot lane matchups, getting your top laners in there as well. But this very likely means that BDS are holding on to that counter pick for Nuke in mid lane, making sure he gets something very comfortable. And if it is, I mean, I think the Crownie Ezreal is a good pick for them. It is a little bit tough because the front line already is showing very tanky on the side of Team Wales. Now, I am expecting to see maybe a Viego ban come in this time. That was really strong on BeanJ, although maybe there aren't as powerful transforms for him this time around, so they might let that slip through.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what comes through in the mid lane. Obviously, Analyst Desk kind of criticizing the Talia coming on through, not wanting that again. And I feel like Nuke, he had fantastic Weaver's Walls. His ultimates were fantastic. But the general combos, like, saw a lot of missed Ws, wasn't necessarily able to connect a lot of those combos in crucial moments. So perhaps something a little bit more comfort for Nuke as opposed to that Talia.
Yeah, I'm thinking for BDS, if they can get something that fights front to back a little bit better as opposed to like a hit and run comp. I feel like Ezreal, Talia kind of want to move around in fights. They want a very like flowy team fight where they can make use of the Ezreal jumps, the Q poke, you know, Talia working around on the worked ground as well. It's a little bit tougher to just full-on front-to-back team fight, especially because like Team Wales, like Xayah, that's exactly what she wants to do. Nautilus, exactly what he wants to do. That's exactly how they want to play the game.
I will say, Syndra's up. Gloryy looked really good on Syndra in the previous game. Why not just take the Syndra away from Gloryy, deny the pick, and also get yourself a mage that is fantastic at those front-to-back?
Yeah, the question is, do we want to blind mid lane here when all we dropped was the Nico ban? And I don't think that's going to be the way for them. Do we see something like a Jarvan come in for Sheo? Okay, yeah, we can root up the Xayah. That might not be terrible. Gives us another like easy form of engage next to the Rakan. But hey, like you say, they do decide to steal away that Gloryy, and I can't necessarily fault them for it. Now just the gauntlet has been thrown, like what is Gloryy taking? Because I think there's a lot of room to play harder around mid lane, especially with these junglers that are being hovered like Lee Sin, LeBlanc. That's a power two-piece.
Okay, here we go. BeanJ and Gloryy basically said, okay, time to play for mid and jungle. Yep. The Lee Sin LeBlanc combo, that is power in those two lanes.
And you don't want to lock in the Jarvan after seeing the Lee Sin come in from BeanJ, so I don't know. I feel like Sheo's kind of forced to play something that is going to be a little bit more losing in mid. So now this is going to be AP mid and jungle. Will be that Gragas going into the hands of Sheo, which is a champion he's been pretty strong on in the past. I do have to give him credit on that front. But I'm wondering how much influence can he actually get from the cast, because the Xayah is really slippery. The LeBlanc, too, might be difficult to hit priority targets, or Sheo just has to sit on that ability and rely on Adam or Labrov to bait out the big cooldowns.
Honestly, when you look across the team from Team Wales, everyone has a way out. Like, you can buffer the anchor for Nautilus. Like you mentioned, the Xayah, the LeBlanc, they're obvious. Lee Sin can dash to an ally. And even Sparda can literally buffer CC and just dash away. So it feels like, unless it's a really nice combo, unless it's off of the point of someone else's CC, it's going to be tough to land.
Yeah, Merc Tread's also looking very valuable this game, not just because mid-jungle are AP focused, but between the crowd control effects of Rakan, the Renekton, like those are going to be big purchases, especially for the top side of the map from Team Wales. But this is what it all comes down to for these two teams today. BDS just got handed their first loss since they arrived in Korea after the 3-0. And Team Wales with a chance to take that over the finish line.
See if they can do it. It'd be huge for VCS, especially after GAM unfortunately losing 0-2 in their series. VCS now with a game on the board and an opportunity to turn it into a series up against essentially what I think a lot of people were considering the absolute favorites of play-ins overall. Like, this is a huge statement game in game number 2, and it could be a statement series for Team Wales if they can finish this one off. BDS now up against it. They've got pressure on their shoulders as the European representative.
And as the European representative coming into the play-in stage, that loss, another loss here, would bring very, very unwanted flashbacks to some of the LEC representatives in the past in the play-in stage.
I don't want to see the Reddit thread.
We've struggled a little bit. This is a must-win for BDS.
It certainly is. It certainly is. We'll see if they can finish this one off in style. When they win, though, they dominate a lot of the time. And I feel like this series so far has been kind of reflective of the Golden Guardian series as well, where game number 2, it didn't feel as strong. Like, that was a comeback win in game number 2 against Golden Guardians. Felt like they fell behind a little bit in the early game and had to reach for straws to get back into things. Perhaps game number 3 can feel a little bit stronger for them again, just like it did against Golden Guardians.
I think what we really saw was that neither team, BDS towards the end gave up the fight, but I think like over the first like couple Barons, they did keep things very close. The Baron power play did not end up meaning too much for Team Wales. BDS also had a pretty solid early game. Sheo had nice early pathing, and once again, BDS have that early ward. Adam dropped that on in there on his way to lane, so BeanJ is going to be fully spotted out. And for a guy that loves to look for those level 3 ganks, he has not been able to find those opportunities today because every single game starts with level 1 ward for BDS.
It certainly does. I just want to say as well, isn't it glorious to see Gloryy in the mid lane with Electrocute and Corrupting Potion instead of a bloody longsword, instead of fleet footwork, none of that stack shiv nonsense. We're back to actually LeBlanc playing like a LeBlanc.
Yay! We did it, team. We got there eventually. I like it, you know? Does mean, of course, no attacks. Not going to be packing a punch. Does mean you have to jump into the entire minion wave to clear it away instead of auto-attacking one time and all of the range creeps are down. It's pretty a big nerf to the champion, to be sure. With some compensation, of course, and into the Syndra matchup. There's a lot of ability to set up for plays around the mid lane, especially with that Lee Sin for BeanJ. Dude in the jungle just said, hey, played a couple games with Viego, had a fantastic game too, give me the lead. I can take over early, and already we're seeing that. Look, hovering around mid lane instead of doing the bot side camps, but I believe he was seen out on an early ward from BDS.
Gloryy dodges away from the scat of the week, jumps forwards though, and Sheo sees that as an opportunity. The wave is in an awkward spot to get the body slam. Gloryy with some fancy footwork gets a little bit of damage back onto them. Did lose a chunk of health though. Does make this lane a little bit tougher.
That was nice. I thought for sure that's just going to be a flash blown there from Gloryy, but gets on out of there.
He's been looking good in this series, honestly. The laning phases have been really solid. And now a flash forwards onto Crownie. He's going to force the heal out, but that's about all it'll get.
It's nice to see VA feeling a little confident now. Sees the angle to go for, especially just trying to soften up this lane. Get a summoner spell out with BeanJ on the prowl, then look for the re-engage. Unfortunately, only got the heal. Yeah. Did cost the flash, and SP actually not have the, don't believe there is,
Hex Flash.
Hex Flash, that's the one. It's a little bit harder to repeat around there, but does have things like the minion dematerializer and the stopwatch for all-ins a little bit later.
Yeah, opting away from the Hex Flash. Surprising to see on a Nautilus, but not unheard of. As Gloryy actually running all 3 D-mats, just try to clear waves ASAP, get himself reset and get some gold. But a great start to the lane, almost 10 CS lead now at this point. There is a lot of minions there for Nuke to get farming up, to catch up a little bit, but a good start certainly as Adam looks to get onto Sparda, but denied.
It's actually interesting because I think the DMAT tech that we were seeing on LeBlanc previously was all to just make it so that your auto attack, the static shiv proc, could full clear the ranged minions. I think you need 2 stacks on the melees, but hold that thought because BeanJ's around the top lane, just making himself known up here.
BeanJ making sure that Sparda can crash this wave in, might end up going for a reset, but Adam perhaps try and hold this one for now. Looks like it will get underneath the tower, but no, good positioning from Adam to try and contest it. Sparda realizes he has to stay, he has to keep pushing that one, and then Adam clears the wave. Look
at BA off the reset, runs to the top river. Potential angle into nuke, but at best you're trying to get a flash there, and he doesn't have the flash to combo. Now Sheo up into top lane. Sparda's really been trading aggressively here. Adam has the stun. Stun available. Sparda gets the knockback at the same time, but Sparda forced the flash away there. Sheo burning the flash in the top side. BA is here. They could try and find something here. Depends on the recalls, the timing from Sheo. Sorry. But no, they'll not pull the trigger in the end. I gotta say, this feels like a nervous game from both teams. This feels like a little bit like tiptoeing around each other. We've had an absolute slobber knocker over game number 2. Now in game number 3, we're taking it easy to start things off. It's like everyone's kind of looking for an angle though, right? You have like the roams into mid from the supports, then into top. Like BA is just not even laning at this point in the game. Labrov just putting down some early vision.
It's a very different vibe in the early game to what we saw in our first game of the day, where they're
you want some
literally
action?
diving between
I'll give you
tier
some
2s.
action.
Artemis takes a chunk. Sheo's moved down to the bottom side, but Nuke is here as well. BA just gets onto the tower. Scatter the Weak won't find its mark. And, I mean, the attempt is there. I like the idea, but, I mean, this is the thing we were talking about. Everyone on this team is so slippery.
This time around, actually, Sheo can't really start up the dragon. It's actually a little bit tougher on the Gragas, especially because this is going to be Sheo going for the 1-pop build. So it's first strike, got a little bit extra money. When you went for that topside gank, it's just going to be building full AP.
Yeah, people. I think a lot of people think of Gragas as like this tank character that's going to set. No. Sheo's going to one-shot people. Yeah, Sheo's going to do a lot of damage.
There's going to be at least once this game, unless BDS just kind of stop playing like they did towards the end of game 2, where Nuke is just going to press R, and then Sheo's going to press R, and someone will be dead, quite simply. Or Crownie throws the ultimate in. There's so much burst on this BDS team, but it means they have to navigate the team fights pretty carefully, I would say, because it's very easy to overcommit in, especially on that AP Gragas. And then you're just getting insta-popped by, you know, the feathers rooting you down, the Nautilus. It gets very annoying.
So let's talk about the next couple of minutes of the game, right? Because we've got Herald coming up in about 40 seconds time.
175.
What a prediction! And the Featherstorm is there as well. The flash for the root. Artemis and BA take a bow. That was glorious.
Oh my God! What did BA just do to the man? The absolute read on the hook. Crownie jumps straight into it. Some nice feather play with the ultimate from Artemis as well. I mean, look, it was getting a little quiet for a second. You wanted to talk about the next few minutes. Nah, Artemis and BA are taking over. And they did the exact same thing last game. When topside was neutralized, which it has been again, they just dominate.
And it might not be neutral for long, honestly, because Adam is getting ganked by BeanJ here. Kick available for BeanJ. He wants to go for that. Has vision right now. Pulled over the wall, kicked back, and taken down. Team Wales, 2 kills across the board.
Phenomenally played by them. BeanJ finds the long loopy path. Bot side's rotated up here, so they're going to take the Herald. Rob can't do anything. Good bot side vision control. Denies the gank in mid while BeanJ was looking top. This could start running away from BDS. I'll be perfectly honest. Especially with that Herald, if you just donate that over to the Xayah, Artemis is gonna be absolutely feeling it.
And these are the kind of games where when plays like this are happening one after another, it can start to get to your mental a little bit. Because the play down in bot, that was just like, that was beautiful bit of footwork. He's still got flash available. He's not even gonna use it. He has no fear in his heart. Like, an incredible hook onto Crownie. They outplay the bottom lane. They get the kill onto Adam up in the top side. They get advantages on both sides of the map in short succession. Like, mentality-wise, this is going to be feeling fantastic for Wales.
I was going to say, this is going to be really frustrating for BDS, because you have Crownie where that's just a mechanical blunder straight up, straight in to that hook. Artemis just pulling back the feathers with the
Thumbs
ult
up.
flash, just amazing. But then also you had like the sidestep in mid lane on that initial gank that Sheo went for, where Gloryy doesn't have to burn the flash. Then you have that other one with VA in mid. You have Adam dying in topside. Every single player in BDS has had a moment where they've just been outplayed mechanically, and either it's resulted in kills or it's resulted in them not getting any. And I think their real only claim here from BDS is that Adam's got one solo plate in topside. Crownie got another solo one in bot side, so the gold isn't so bad after those first 2 kills.
It's not so good either, though. 1,000 up in favor of Team Wales, and it's feeling good. I think a lot of fans at home over from Vietnam going to be biting their nails in this one, watching their team go up against arguably the favorite of play-ins. They managed to find game number 2. I'm not sure a lot of people believed it was doable, but they've proven that belief wrong. And now looking good with the lead in game 3. BDS, though, they love to stack these Drakes. They're yet to get one on the board.
Gloryy had an interesting position there for a second and just walked straight up into BDS's jungle, but nope, gonna take the quick reset from BeanJ. 10.5 minutes in, no dragon. Is this really a BDS game? Sure doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? You don't see this very often, but a lot of that down to Team Wales and how they're playing the map, how they're controlling things. Labrov clearing vision.
Pretty sure that walkabout from Gloryy placed that control ward right next to the wolves from Sheo, so that one might survive a long time. BDS don't seem aware of the pathing that Gloryy ended up taking.
And the thing is, like, we're talking about the fact that Drake is up on the map. Well, BeanJ has the Herald in pocket. You can use that to get yourself into River for the Drake, as well as just getting gold into Artemis's pocket,
Sure.
which we saw after last game. Like, you want gold in Artemis's pocket. This guy's going to carry if you give him the gold. And BeanJ knows it, moves into this bottom side. Not sure if he was quite in vision range. I think it probably was. As now trying to clear. Sheo's in the area as well, but I'm not sure if BDS can contest.
I think it's Herald. Push out this cannon wave and then Herald, because your own cannon is going to eat up so many turret shots here that would be your best opportunity in terms of time you can stall out to start up the Drake if they want to. BeanJ's actually just taking his time. Maybe he thinks if he pulls... No, he's just actually not even using the Herald. So this is the ultimate like greed play almost, because then you keep the Herald and you can probably cash in on more turret plates as opposed to just using it for pressure. And hey, he's got the Gold Drinker finished off, so I can't entirely blame him for wanting BDS just straight fight him here. That's a TP behind though.
TP coming out from Adam. BDS want to find themselves the fight. BeanJ the target as Bia gets to the back of the pit. BeanJ flashes out safety, and suddenly it's Adam that's the target instead. BeanJ doesn't dive back in, and BDS back to front to back here, back on their side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, BeanJ, he could just drop Herald in mid and then go back to the Dragon. Yeah, exactly. He puts it straight in front of the tower. They might even get some hits on as well. No, Gloryy jumps in to get the auto to get the extra gold off of that Herald. And now with BA taking the reset, he's going to be full HP. This should just be their Dragon, and BDS don't really have the tools to go for it. Sheo doesn't have the ultimate. Adam spent it, as well as the teleport to get the flank. So yeah, run back to top lane. That's a lost engage from BDS.
And it was only in trade of Bia's ult as well. So you've still got Artemis, you've still got BeanJ, you've still got Sparda with their ults. So realistically, not a fight that BDS can afford to take right now. And it means that Team Wales, not only with a gold lead, but a slight dragon lead now as well. A great start to things. And once again, we complimented it. We complimented that on it in game number 2 on their control of the mid game, their ability to play this sort of slower game and just maintain a lead. It's looking good in game number 3.
And we haven't even seen them set up for picks yet, because that was really impressive. Between BA's Nos like flashing over walls. Yeah, they had the Xayah, which simplified things for them. But now you have the LeBlanc perhaps to follow up on that Nautilus engage. So it's a different pairing we might see, sort of running around, spooking everyone on the map. But it's still a very, very powerful one, especially once we get some items online for Gloryy.
Maybe we get Artemis going for a Gale Force to be budget Xayah. Hang on a second, Sparda goes for the all-in on the top side. Adam's in trouble. Sparda forces the flash, and Dominus comes out at the last second as well. But Sparda, I mean, he has warmed up over this series. I've never seen like an evolution throughout a series like this.
It's crazy, he was just Ksante-ing all over him. I love Ksante. Oh man, Adam thought he was winning that fight. Absolutely not. Nuke turns it.
Glory's been found, dodges away from the W though. Won't get the full combo coming through there. And it feels really tense. It's 45 seconds until this Herald comes up, and it feels like both teams will want to fight for this one, but I feel like this Lee Sin from BeanJ is doing a lot of the heavy lifting of this early game. Like, they don't want to fight him. Everywhere he goes, Sheo, it feels like, is kind of shadowing him. Doesn't really want to commit.
Yeah, he's really strong. He's got a level lead. Both BeanJ and Sparda just went for the Merc Tread purchase, so that's fantastic up against BDS's comp, so setting up for a fight here. At the same time, Sheo, stopwatch available, finished off the Night Harvester on the latest reset, so the gap isn't quite as extreme items-wise between him and BeanJ anymore. Really, it's going to be the levels where he finds the hurt just ever so slightly.
And a quiet one here. To round out our day, this is our final game of the day as well, and both teams, they know it's their final game in the upper bracket if they can't connect a victory here. So far, Team Wales, a fantastic start, but they've got to finish it off in BDS. They showed us already in the tournament they can win comebacks. They did it in Game 2 against GG, and they do it here against Team Wales as well.
So both Nuke and Gloryy have teleports available. Nuke's got some nice damage down onto Gloryy. Does make things a little bit awkward when we're going into a Herald fight because you can't always get the perfect teleport location, especially as a mid laner. Yeah. The fact that Gloryy has the mobility to maybe reposition favors him ever so slightly. I don't think either team wants to start it up though. BDS has the mid prio, BDS has the top prio, but Team Wales are overall stronger. So how do you really reconcile with that? Well, you play for the scuttle crab. You take things slow. BeanJ just styles on Sheo, and now here comes the TP. Gloryy.
TP coming in here. It's Gloryy joining the play. Lock up, but Gloryy still gets out with his life here. It's just the clone that's going to go down in the end.
And now Nuke teleports into mid lane, so options to re-enter the fight with the Leandry's complete. Crownie is pretty low on mana. It's still not the freest objective, but they are going to kick it off.
It felt like that was a positive TP with the flank there, but Gloryy actually just gets burst out, and now it feels like BDS have the advantage off the back of that TP.
Yeah, they were ready for that teleport to come on in. And yeah, BeanJ, you got to channel the resets here. Gloryy just can't re-enter the fight. Team Wales were stronger, but a misstep on that teleport position, I feel, like I was talking about, kind of hard to get those flanks off. You need a little bit more distance between the enemy team or you just get popped.
Yeah. Especially when they know where you're teleporting. Like, this is a composition from BDS that definitely has the ability to target CC and just one-shot someone, so you can't really afford to go the way that he went.
Yeah, you're also on the LeBlanc at this point in the game, you're more stacked into points in your W as opposed to your Q, so it's a little bit harder. Like, later in the game, you can W forward, QR, get a lot of poke damage, and snap back. At this stage of the game, you've got to be like double Wing in, so that puts you in a lot of risk of just being chain CC'd and popped exactly like we saw right there.
See what Team Wales can do to regain control, because I feel like that was a crucial moment in the game for BDS, right? It felt like slowly but surely, Wales were like eking these little advantages out time and time again. This Herald will kind of reinvigorate BDS a little bit, get a bit more confidence back, see what they can get with the Herald. In the meantime, though, Team Wales, they don't feel like they need Herald. They're going to be able to get this bot tier 1 just with pressure.
It's time for a dragon. BDS just took a reset on Crownie, and that cost them bot lane turret, mid lane turret very, very low. But it does mean coming into this dragon fight, he's feeling very strong. Everyone pretty even in items across the board. Yeah, Team Wales are 2K ahead, but first items all completed. It's really just components that are going to be separating the two.
I felt a little bit close there. BeanJ gets out with his life. And I've got to say, and I hope you're right, I hope we get a Drake in 5 seconds. I'm channeling my inner LPL, desperately trying to divine a fight out of this situation. It's 2 kills on the board at almost 20 minutes.
So Sparda just channeled Recall. There's double teleport wards. He's just TPing into mid lane, as a matter of fact. That turret is falling. Just in the thick of things, but hey, the whole team's here.
Adam's been found, but they don't use the ultimate from the Ksante. Knockback is going to be enough, though. Adam low on HP and taken down. Team Wales once again 3 kills on the board. The hat trick there for them. And perhaps could find the second Drake for themselves. They're building advantage after advantage, but BeanJ just gets jumped on. He still gets out somehow. The charm, the stun is there. The kill is there. Traded 1 for 1, but Wales still with the advantage. But health bars are low, actually. Gloryy gets a root, has to dash away. And maybe they actually, I think BDS get the Drake.
I mean, respect to BDS finding an angle there. Yeah, I think BDS take Dragon. Team Wales look for that mid lane tier 2 turret on Artemis. That would be even more gold he's able to secure. Adam just gets caught out in mid lane, but respect to BDS for finding an angle, seeing that BeanJ was split away from the rest of the team and knowing they have so much burst between the Gragas and the Syndra. They can just pop them quickly.
Yeah, feel like BeanJ counting his whales before they'd hatched there. Steps a little too far forward, thinking perhaps BDS were backing away. Another look, because I feel like Adam a little disrespectful here, honestly.
Yeah. Just walks up for the turret. He saw the teleport, so I think he assumed Artemis and be like, no one's running up mid lane in that situation. If you're teleporting to catch that wave, surely you're coming from the river, and then he's probably flying. Here you have it. BeanJ turns right around and gets that kill, or gets killed.
Yeah, BeanJ goes down from the ultimate as well, and then it's kind of just everyone from Team Wales grouping up to finish those kills, but the health bar's still plenty high. Crownie and Nuke, and this is kind of what we were talking about with the composition earlier on as well, right? Where we've got the Syndra and the Ezreal that can kind of sit back behind the Renekton, behind the Rakan, and get that front-to-back damage down. And I feel like the health bars at the end, you're kind of seeing the safety that these, or at least relative safety, that these two picks have been able to use. And we'll see if they can keep that up throughout these fights. BDS still behind in gold, 3,500 at this point, but getting that Drake will be a welcome boon for them. And we'll see what else they can find off the back of it, whether or not they can scale into this game.
All right. Both teams, or BDS, really looking for a reset at the moment. Second item finished off for Crownie, but also Artemis. I feel like Artemis has just been outpacing him in these last two games. He's been such a difference maker in the team fights. And now it does seem like the pressure has really shifted almost completely in favor of Team Wales. I mean, Artemis is just full clearing the bot side jungle while BeanJ is looking for picks and plays around the top side of the map. So Artemis continues to snowball ahead.
Root almost lands onto Sheo, not quite. I have to say, I'm impressed by Team Wales in their sort of flexibility. Oh no, that's just stun, but Gloryy dodges it. Beautifully done. Bit of fancy footwork and a bit of fancy distortion work.
Mercury treads makes playing this game really unfun. Nuke scouts out BeanJ. Does see the particle traveling over there, but yeah, I mean, 4 Merc treads from Team Wales.
Feels pretty good.
What are you gonna do? Like your pick options just aren't really there, especially because tied into the slipperiness, like Lee Sin, LeBlanc, you hit them with any amount of CC, they're immediately snapping out of there with the W dashes.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Wales adapting well in this series. We saw game number 1, Adam destroying, and we all know BDS love a dragon. It feels like the longer this series has gone on, the more they've been able to A, contain what Adam's doing on the top side, but B, actually contest these early dragons, not allow those being kind of the 2 win conditions we've seen from BDS today, and sort of denying both of them here in game 3.
Yeah, Team Wales have played very nicely when sort of grouping up together and then playing around those objectives. Vision control has been on fire as well. Makes it really hard for BDS to sort of cross the threshold and get into the river. Just currently, you know, stacking up, farming in side lanes, and this was kind of how BDS tried to play the second game, and one of the reasons why it looked so silly from them almost, where they were just giving up everything, because they would just like go and spread out, play all 3 lanes, and farm once they fell behind. It did mean that the Baron plays from Team Wales didn't give them huge gold leads, because while Team Wales was grouping, BDS was just farming everything under the sun, but it did mean Team Wales stacked objective after objective after objective, and that's going to be a serious concern if BDS can't find ways to fight back inside of this game.
See if they can find their way back in. I'm amazed at how quiet this one has been, honestly, especially when we saw the Lee Sin LeBlanc locked in. I was like, okay, early action, let's go. But realistically, these kind of picks, they don't have to just be used for fighting. Like, the early presence that they give also can be a deterrent for the enemy team, so you can just take more objectives, you can take more space without the fight ever needing to happen.
Also, just BeanJ is outpacing Sheo inside of the jungle clear, rushing the Gore Drinker, all of these things. Now he can go full-on tank. It's a Spirit Visage. He's just going to be a giant meat shield for all of the magic damage that BDS are going to be firing at him.
Artemis, he might find an opportunity, but Labrov dashes out to safety. I believe that was Guardian proc there.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the angles at which Team Wales can approach, because anyone can flank. Ksante, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, and us. Each one of them accomplishes something very different, but it starts with BeanJ control over the bot side jungle, stealing away wolves, putting down control wards, full bot side push from Sparda as well. BDS can't fight the dragon, because if they walk into their jungle, even if they make it in, someone's going to be coming from behind them, man.
I mean, this is just sheer control of the bottom side for Team Wales. BDS have to just accept it, have to back away, look towards that top side. It said clear vision towards Baron. Perhaps looking for a pick themselves, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the play is, but Adam, in the meantime, trying to get onto this tier 2. Gloryy moving over to answer. He's fairly lonely right now. Bia is nearby. He'll just be able to clear the way. I'm amazed he jumped back in there. That felt dicey.
That is just disrespectful, man. Gloryy is having a good time.
All for a single Q.
Yeah,
He got 100 damage out of that.
No, he's just saying a little goodbye kiss on the way out. Hello. Adam, you went for the turret again? What happened last time?
No, Adam really wanted that tier 1 in the mid lane. The feathers are there. He's rooted up. And Artemis, once again, just 1v1ing Adam. Sparda comes in to take the kill at the end, but let's be honest, Artemis had that beautiful stuff. Well, I mean, Artemis, he's a monster. It's as simple as that.
I can't. I don't know what to do, man. Like, Adam just runs in for the turret again. It feels like a side effect almost of how dominant game 1 was, that he's just playing unhinged a little bit, going for that, thinking he's absolutely unkillable, like in the Darius match. And now Luis in flank, the teleport behind. It's a team fight for Team Wales.
Here we go. Team Wales want to find their
BeanJ!
advantage. They jump in. Crownie could be the target, but it's nuke kicked back. And Gloryy flies in as well, but Labrov blocking it. And it's actually Crownie to get a kill. But now the knockbacks are in, and Artemis has arrived. The feathers flying on in. He wants to make quills. He wants to write BDS's epitaph. But now a TP in from BDF. The re-engage could come on through. I don't think they're going to be able to find their mark, though. Gloryy has the fancy footwork, has his Ws available. So 1-for-1 in the end.
I like the idea, maybe a little bit too much from Team Wales. BeanJ couldn't quite find the kick he was looking for. I think the best target in terms of his angle was going to be Crownie, but because Crownie has the arcane shift, he didn't commit to it. Then he kicks nuke, but there's not immediate follow-up, so he gets absolutely popped. 1-for-1 though, still not so bad for Team Wales.
Yeah.
Although the side effect of that is a lot of vision inside that top side jungle and river for BDS. So here's what I'm talking about. Crownie, a kick on him is really nice, but the damage follow-up isn't going to be there. Artemis is too far away. Gloryy also coming in on the flank, so BeanJ just gets exploded. Still, between Sparda and BA, that was gorgeous. The double knockups there to eliminate nuke.
And then Artemis is obviously there to just absolutely sweep up with the damage.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We've started Baron. Team Wales in the pit right now. Adam behind them, and the smite is there. BeanJ grabbing the Baron as Adam trying to survive, trying to sustain in the middle of the pit, dashes out to safety. But as to all of Team Wales, they get a Baron for nothing.
I wish I could tell you what happened right there. Honestly, I think Team Wales just reset off of the fight and immediately forced into the Baron. BDS must have been caught out of position. There was deep, I don't know. BDS just getting caught every single time. It feels like they're either ones getting picked off or being really late to the play.
Yeah.
Team Wales are fully in control, and it's just a shame.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel the pressure on BDS right now as the European seed in play-ins, as the favorite for play-ins. They're expected to dominate today. They started today dominating. Team Wales, it feels like they found the answer. It feels like they found the kryptonite to BDS. And now this macro control that they've shown us is paying dividends.
And if it's not the macro, it's the items. Can't see him now. It is the Red Bull Baron power play from Team Wales, and they can continue this pressure going in. But between the Merc Treads, there's also now a third item, Maw of Malmortius, on Artemis. There's no way you're gonna burst him between that Syndra and the Gragas anymore. Spirit Visage complete for BeanJ in the jungle. On top of the 5,000 gold lead, all of the gold advantage that Team Wales have, they've just fully invested into defensive options, and that's so limiting for any angles BDS might find.
Yeah, it feels so oppressive, doesn't it? It feels like even when you do find a potential opportunity, it's that much harder to connect it, especially when you're running like the first strike for Sheo, you know, you're wanting to try and burst people down. Those defensive options do so much to deny that potential opportunity. And again, I want to say Sparda, the level up this player has had across the course of today. Game number 1 was an absolute disaster. Game number 3, he's looking fantastic. That combo alongside Bia. And I mean, you can see the win probability by AWS looking pretty good. Adam pulled over the wall, rooted up once again. Gloryy with a kill. And I mean, Team Wales, they're just taking BDS apart now.
It is personal, man. They're not going to let Adam live. They just keep targeting him and deleting him, zeroing him from the map. That is just insane.
And I was coming into game number 3 excited for game number 3, thinking, yes, we're going to have another close one, just like game number 2. This is going to be a brawl. But honestly, it feels like Team Wales have just got better and better. And now game 3, this doesn't even feel close anymore.
It is brutal. I mean, just dragging him over the wall. There's not really anything, at that point, Adam can't do anything about it. Just accept what's happened and move on to the next fight. Team Wales also first onto the objective. No way BDS are going to be able to contest this. I mean, trying to look at items and see if there's a break point at which BDS can fight, it's not going to happen now. Down 7,000.
Yeah.
It's a full item lead on both bot laners and mid laners for Team Wales.
And you know, the cruel irony of this series is in game number 1, when we're talking about the ridiculous lead that BDS had and how it was an infernal soul on top of it. Well, Team Wales, they've got a massive lead for themselves and an infernal soul on top of it. If they could get 2 more Drakes for themselves, everything that they could wish for is going their way. And look at Artemis's items, man. He's got 360 CS at the 30-minute mark. That is mind-blowing. 4 items strong already. And that more, it's just going to be such a pain for Nuke.
Look, if these whales are Team Orcas, BDS are looking more like the boats right now. It is over. BeanJ finds out Nuke. Nuke forced to flash away. And that's off of a cost of nothing.
BeanJ just playing bouncer in the mid lane, not letting them move back, not letting them take the control of the space. Adam will look for a tower in the bottom side. I mean, it's a tier 1.
You get a flash just for walking at the man. If you don't all chat XDD, I don't know what you're doing on BeanJ. He has just been disrespecting, owning BDS, forced into their jungle. It's just full-on despair o'clock from BDS.
It's brutal. We need a miracle. And you know what? In the last game, we almost saw that miracle. Crownie went absolutely insane when he was around the Nexus, getting everyone so low on HP. But then Gloryy went insane too.
Yeah.
You know, BA went insane too. It feels like there was so many moments of like, yes, Crownie's doing so well, but so are Team Wales, and we need to see some kind of miracle, some kind of outplay if BDS are going to come back in this one.
I mean, maybe I'm just a doomer, but I don't see how Ezreal can effectively deal damage like against this front line. It's tough. Yeah, they've spec'd a little bit more into magic damage, so maybe BeanJ isn't as tanky as he looks. That health bar is pretty massive, but there's not a ton of armor to back it up. But like, Ezreal needs to find ways to hit the priority targets, and BDS's own front line is pretty malleable. You know, Adam's the tankiest dude, and he's getting popped in the fights. He's got insane healing, don't get me wrong. The Gore Drinker plus Q-Proc in the last fight was ridiculous, but I don't know, Labrov and Sheo kind of have to wait, have to play back. There's not the front line to give space to Nuke and Crownie that Team Wales have at their disposal.
And I feel like we talked about Nuke and Crownie as being like being able to do safe damage front to back, but that only functions if Adam is ahead. That only functions if this Renekton is a real threat, which he's not in this game right now. We're getting real cheeky with it. Sheo sneaking on forwards. Gloryy could be in trouble. Labrov's moved over. He's been spotted on a control ward. Sheo still not spotted. They found their opportunity. They found a shutdown to go into the pocket of Nuke.
And this is 20 seconds before Baron. I think this might be BDS's best shot. Push out top wave, get on this Baron. 50 seconds to the respawn on Gloryy, and he will have teleport, but that gives him a 35-second buffer to play with on this objective.
This would be unreal if BDS can come back now. We said they needed a miracle. They needed to get creative, and get creative Sheo has, finding the pick. But BeanJ is in the area. Sparda moving forwards to try and buy space for his team. Keep your eyes on Artemis or on Adam as he's kicked back into the fight. The stopwatch is there though, as BA could be going down here. Gets the shield, gets away, gets the CC. Adam finds one to answer the play, but Artemis will take him down anyway. Double kill for the Bird Lady, and Baron next on the chopping block. Crownie could be in trouble. He actually jumps forward. He jumps at BeanJ, but into the pit they go, and Sparda trades places. Baron still going to 7K.
Sheo has to try something. It's down to 5,000, and they have so much burst. Team Wales are going to pull off the objective. They know they are dominating. And Sheo, I mean, they're trying to sneak it, but there's wards in the pit. What is he doing? He's got to flash on out of here. It is falling apart for BDS.
At least they didn't lose the Baron. It could have gone worse in theory, but my God, that felt close.
But what are they doing, man? Like, you gotta turn and fight there. They have 3 people still hitting the Baron, while Team Wales are just killing the front line.
Sheo's been spotted on the ward. He's completely blind. He wants to try and get into the pit. It's too little too late. Baron taken. for Team Wales now. 3 Drakes already with the next one spawning in a minute's time. Everything they could want is in their favor. Artemis is practically full build, and his last time is a stopwatch, so
it's a GA,
more valuable
actually.
than most.
Yeah, he just finished it off. I mean, look, BDS, the right idea. Sheo sets a tent in the enemy jungle, finds this pick. Gloryy is gone. They have 35 seconds on the play, but then, what are you doing? Adam and I think Labrov enter this fight, but Crownie, Nuke, and Sheo just sit inside of the Baron pit. They're hitting instead of, I guess Crownie looks forward there, but they need to be able to actually turn and fight instead of just being stuck in the pit. There wasn't a collective decision to turn, it felt. And now they have to run away to the top side. Artemis is free hitting. You have to jump on Xayah or you can't play a front to back.
And now the Baron power play for Team Wales. The 4th, I think, Baron power play for Team Wales across the course of the last 2 games here. They've got a huge gold lead. Drake up in 5 seconds time. Sheo trying to get cheeky onto Gloryy again, but Glory's getting even cheekier onto Sheo. This is a good chunk of his health for it.
Dragon's been started up here. Soul point for Team Wales. BeanJ and Sparda looking for that flank option on the top side. But now the rest of the team regroups. They can't force a fight. They're going front to back.
TP comes in, BeanJ stepping forwards. It's just going to be a 50-50, and BeanJ wins those. Now the all-in onto Crownie, but Sparda might have gone too far on this one. He gets out with his life, though, and the Infernal Soul's taken. If no kills go down, Team Wales are over the moon with this play.
They also beat BDS to this wave in mid lane. If they can save those ranged minions, there's a cannon there, too. They're just going to delay. Maybe get some pressure down on this inhib tower.
BeanJ still has his Dragon Rage available, so you've got to be careful if you're Nuke or Crownie in this situation. BeanJ will pull the trigger on that kind of play. And once again, just great control from Team Wales. Now with Soul on top of that Baron, they are feeling fantastic. They are feeling on the cusp of taking this upset against the LEC 4th seed.
Sparda, Gloryy, Artemis, all level 18. Full build on Artemis now. He's not getting any stronger, but my word, I don't think BDS have an answer to him.
When you said Sparda, Gloryy, Artemis, I thought you were going like a 300 angle here. I thought we were going Gladiator style. But it feels like Team Wales are going Gladiator style. They want revenge for what happened in game number 1. Labrov is caught, dashes out, gets himself to safety as the siege begins. Only playing for 1 lane right now, Team Wales.
Yeah, they're going to have to send Gloryy, I think, to pick up that top wave. It slows down. I feel like, yeah, Team Wales haven't been able to generate too much off their Baron plays, but it doesn't matter because eventually BDS are just forced to fight them. Now with the Infernal Soul on top of it all, Gloryy can look for just insane poke damage. That was just AQ. No R duplicate involved there whatsoever, but oh, nice attempt from Sheo to turn. Gloryy's just too flexible.
That's tower going down. His name is Artemis, Maximus, Meridius, Decimus, whatever the name is in that film. And they've taken 1 tower down. But again, it feels like every single time we see a Baron power play from Team Wales, my criticism is they're not really able to get that much off of these Barons. It doesn't feel like they're using the Barons to great effect as BA looks for the chance. Crownie, that's his flash gone.
You know, maybe it's unfair to say they never look for the chance, but it just narrow misses sometimes. No, I think that Team Wales have been a little bit overly patient with their Baron plays. At the same time, they feel they have the scaling, they have the stronger team fight, so can't fault them for not necessarily wanting to throw it all away at a moment's notice. But we saw very similar things in the last game. Maybe something to eye as you look later into this tournament, but for now, you just continue to push the foot down.
I do think as well, like, spending my year commentating JDG, you become impatient.
It's valid.
Like, when they get a Baron, they win within the next 3 minutes of the game. So it builds some kind of conditioning there. So maybe just need to hone that in a little bit.
Team Wales, we usually wait for the 3rd Baron before we look to end the game. It's just really rubbing salt in the wound to BDS. Like, imagine, you've actually lost the game by like 28 minutes, but then you're forced to stay in the server for 20 more minutes, losing fight after fight, Baron after Baron after Dragon. Meanwhile, they just build more MR. I don't know, I'd be tilted.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to BDS. This is a double elim. They still have the opportunity to make it out of this bracket, even if they lose this game. But they certainly would have they would have been coming in today with expectations of winning, right? They are definitely the team that should be coming out of play-ins with the expectations of finishing play-ins, you know, of making it into the Swiss, joining their LEC brethren. So far, it feels like Team Wales might just have their number. It's a disastrous place to be for BDS, a team with such expectations after beating Golden Guardians.
I appreciate that you have so much faith in BDS. I can never be too sure. I always have my doubts coming in internationally because it is just such a different game.
It is.
And that's kind of what we've seen here. Like, ever since if Adam isn't 1v9ing the game, how do BDS actually play around here? Because they have not looked very strong in the team fights, and that was a big strength of theirs. I felt the majority of the LEC, the team fights around objectives, around dragons, they're always so good there. Today, it has been lackluster, and the way they've been picked out in the mid-game has just been downright sloppy.
Yeah. I've got to say as well, Artemis has been so good today. Like, his positioning in the late game has been phenomenal. His team fighting is fantastic. Even the plays like, you know, him and Bia essentially just 2v2ing Crownie and Labrov, finding the kill early on. In a matchup, you know, that it's not necessarily easy to just find simple kills against an Ezreal, against the Rakan. He still managed to find that opportunity. And now BDS, they want to contest this Baron. It's Team Wales very much in control for now.
Yeah, oh my lord, look at the damage, Labrov.
If that chain lands, that's the end of Labrov.
Yeah, but now that forces a reset, right? So they can maybe hit the Baron, see if they can tempt out a fight. It's always going to be this dance from Team Wales. The mid-pressure into Baron, and then always looking for picks over the wall while in between.
They don't actually have a control ward in the pit right now, so full vision here. BDS go in!
It's Artemis!
But Sheo can't find the steal. It's taken, as is his life. And now Nuke chased down Labrov on the scene as BeanJ trying to go further forward.
It's going to be a double TP.
The TP's in from the solo laners. The hook is there. Gloryy on the backside, looking for Nuke. Goes golden to buy time for his team as everybody charges on in, and Artemis remains untouched. Adam goes down as Sparda finds his redemption. It's Gloryy across the board, not just the mid laner, as Sparda gets the 3 out of 300 with his triple kill.
The tenacity from Team Wales today, after the humiliating defeat in Game 1, grinded out. Both these two games hard fought to the last breath, but Artemis has been unstoppable in the fight, and Sparda delivered the final punch.
What a beautiful victory for Team Wales. The upset of the day easily. And I mean, look at that. Look at their faces. They're so happy, and rightly so. Well-deserved happiness off the back of this upset. After how game number 1 went, to see this result and to see game 3 happen in such a dominating fashion, it just feels fantastic for this team.
Slow and steady wins the race. Team Wales rebranding to Team Turtles after this one, right? It's just, but it's like, it's the spiky shell. You know, anytime BDS tried to do an attack, they're, ow, that hurt. You know, just jumping straight into it. And yeah, absolutely take a bow.